Welcome everybody to a project I was starting on stream, but now I've just decided to continue to do it via videos, just because it's a little easier for me to do individual videos than do streaming for an hours at a time. But basically what this is Major League Wrestling in 2004. We had done a few shows on the stream, so I'll go over what had happened, the roster, and where we're going from there. So just as a basic fact, this is MLW, not the MLW that, well, it's sort of the MLW that exists now after it went to sleep for about 15 years. But this is a start when it's basically a combination of indie guys plus former ECW guys. It had some decent stuff going on, but eventually fell apart because, money. But, the idea is I picked it up from the start of 2004 and we're booking it from there. So, just to go over a few things, here's the roster. We've got Bobby Quance, who is a random cruiserweight guy. We've got Bryan Danielson, who for some reason doesn't have a name face here, but okay, I'll fix that. We've got Chad Collier, who was a wrestler guy. Jason Rance, who actually, is just a regular random guy. Chris Hero, who, is still very indie Chris Hero at this point. Court Bauer, who's the owner and player character. ECMO, who is one of 3 Minute Warning and is now in MLW. Harry Smith, the future Davey Boy Smith Jr. Homicide is Homicide. Jack Evans, Flippy Dude Extraordinaire. Jerry Lynn, former ECW World Champion, was part of TNA, former WWF Lightweight Champion, now one of my top guys. JJ Dillon, who's just manager of the Extreme Horsemen. Joel Maximo, Flippy Dude. Jose Maximo, also Flippy Dude. Julius Smokes, who was a manager in ROH. Kevin Kelly, who's our announcer. Low-Key, who's Low-Key. Mana, who was another member of the Samoan tribe. Matt Martell, the future Matt Stryker, the high school teacher one. M-Dog 20. Brandon, indie guy at the beginning of the indie era. Michael Modest was one of the guys along with Donovan Morgan, who was tipped for stardom in the indies at the beginning of 2000s, but just became a Noah guy mostly. Mike Shane, brother of Todd Shane. Nigel McGuinness, ROH, got a bunch of concussions, now part of MLW. Norman Smiley, he's here because why not? Persephone, she manages Matt Martell, okay. Pete Wilson, who was, one of the Hart family members, I guess, TJ's little brother, I guess. PJ Friedman was a MMA type of guy, mostly got, he started in MLW, did some Japan trips, didn't do much after that. Puma, the future TJ Perkins. Raven, it's Raven. Richard J. Corrado, a random wrestler, lower card guy. Ricky Reyes, one of the Pitbulls. Rocky Romero, the other Pitbull. Roderick Strong, backbreaker extraordinaire. Sabu, it's Sabu. Samu, again, one of the Samoans. Simon Diamond, part of the Extreme Horsemen with Steve Corino and JJ Dillon. Sonjay Dutt, our current junior heavyweight champion. Steve Corino, our current world heavyweight champion. Teddy Hart is Teddy Hart. Terry Funk is Terry Funk. The Amazing Red is, part of the SATs with the Maximos. TJ Wilson, future husband of Nettie Neidhart. And Todd Shane, brother of Todd Shane. And Vampiro, wacky, spooky guy. So, storylines, we've got Best in the World between Bryan Danielson and Jerry Lynn. Hart Foundation versus Samoans, basically the Hart Foundation's being annoying little guys and Samoans killing them. Modest versus Low-Key is basically, a decision, what's the word I'm looking for here, is basically Modest versus Low-Key versus Dutt is a feud over the junior heavyweight title. Raven versus Corino is a feud over the world title. And then we've got Sabu versus Funk, which happened because they fought during a three-way with Corino, and now they're mad at each other. Go over a few things that have happened since the actual, just sort of catch you up. Under show history, so we'll start here. At the last big show, the Reloaded Tour, Sonjay Dutt defeated Low-Key to retain the World Junior Heavyweight title. Nigel defeated Norman Smiley, and then they shook hands. Michael Modest won a 6-way with Jack Evans, Roderick Strong, M-Dog 20, Chad Collier, and Puma. Homicide defeated Chris Hero. There was a 3-on-2 beatdown, but the SAT made the save. The Extreme Horsemen defeated the Havana Pitbulls, SAT, and Samoan Island Tribe to retain the tag titles. Raven defeated Vampiro in a hardcore match. Bryan Danielson went to a time limit draw with Jerry Lynn. And then Steve Corino defeated Terry Funk and Sabu to retain the world title. And then Corino gets out of dodge and pile driver by Funk on Sabu. So after that, on the first underground, we had Michael Modest winning a squash. Samoan Hart Foundation recap. Harry Smith defeating Mana. Samoans beat up Harry, and the Harts made the save. Pitbulls, Heroes, and SATs recap. And then Chris Hero and the SATs defeated Homicide and the Havana Pitbulls. And then Nigel McGuinness and it defeated Roderick Strong, and then they shook hands. And then that ended with a Steve Corino in-ring with Extreme Horsemen. And then Raven coming out and says his redemption will be winning the title. At the next show, we had Terry Funk and Sabu, Vampiro versus Sabu and Lynn being set up, or being announced. Yeah, it was announced. Nigel McGuinness defeated Chad Collier, and then there was a handshake. The Havana Pitbulls defeated Quance and Puma. SAD came out, chased the Pitbulls, and hit with a double plancha. Steve Corino had a promo, said basically that Raven doesn't deserve a title shot. Low-Key defeated Jack Evans. Low-Key promo said he's not finished with Dutt. And then in the main for this edition of Underground, Jerry Lynn and Sabu defeated Terry Funk and Vampiro as Sabu and Funk fought to the back. On the next Underground, Raven basically, said, "I'm not worthy, really?" Then Teddy Hart defeated Puma and Roderick Strong. ECMO went to kill Teddy, but Harry Smith ran in and there was a brawl. Bryan Danielson defeated M-Dog 20. Danielson did promo, basically I'm big in Japan. Chris Hero defeated Vampiro by countout. Homicide went to destroy Hero, but Vampiro attacked Homicide. Terry Funk squashed Jason Rance, and then he called out Sabu. The lights went out, and then Sabu attacked. And then we had the Extreme Horsemen came out with Low-Key. C.W. Anderson defeated Ricky Reyes and Joel Maximo. The SAT and the Havana Pitbulls continued to fight. Nigel had a promo. ECMO defeated Terry Smith. Samoan Islands did a beatdown. The Hearts made the save, and the challenge was made for a 3-versus-4 match at the next big show. Jerry Lynn promo. Ironman Match was officially made with overtime. Vampiro and Homicide have an issue. Raven and Sonjay Dutt then defeated Steve Corino and Low-Key. There was Extreme Horseman beatdown with Roderick Strong and Nigel saving. Then we had Extreme Horseman promo were set up for CW versus Strong Tonight. The SAT went to a no contest with the Pitbulls, Vampiro and Homicide, and Chris Hero and Dog 20 when it just went to a giant mess. Sabu defeated Mike Shane and Todd Shane in a it was a handicap match. Hart Foundation strategized. Bryan Danielson did a promo from Japan. The Samoans were scary. Roderick Strong defeated C.W. Anderson, and then Strong and Nigel celebrated. And then, in the last taping, Extreme Horsemen are very upset. Strong and Nigel defeated Smokes and Smiley. Strong and Nigel did a promo. M-Dog 20 defeated Matt Martell. Michael Modest is in Japan. Joel Maximo and the Stampede Bulldogs defeated Romero and the Samoan Island Tribe. Terry Funk was on his ranch, talking about his match with Sabu. And then the main event of this show, Chris Hero defeated Vampiro and Homicide. And then Homicide hit Hero at the 187. So this sort of sets up where we are. The next big show is MLW Crazy Crazy Nights in 18 days. And if we look at our pre-booking, officially we have pre-booked Bryan Danielson versus Jerry Lynn in an Ironman match. Raven versus Steve Corino for the title. Sonjay Dutt versus Michael Modest for the light heavyweight title. And Terry Funk versus Sabu. And then, let's see here. So one thing that did happen is basically C.W. Anderson left MLW because he signed a written contract with AJPW. So I'm basically going to do an angle based around that. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, we have Samoan Family, we have the Hart Foundation 2.0, we have the Extreme Horsemen. And I think that's about it. So what's going to happen next is where you'll see it's basically, merch. We're slowly upgrading the merch. And yeah, so we'll be back in a second to get to the next taping of Underground, and you'll see that. So be back in just a moment. Okay, time for the first show, for the first taping of Underground, as we start off with the Extreme Horsemen, as they basically go over the fact that, yes, C.W. Anderson has moved on because the idiots running MLW can't outbid a big Japanese company like All Japan. But their lawyers have made sure that at Crazy Crazy Nights, it will still be a tag team match for the tag team titles, but Simon Diamond has a new partner, and in walks D'Lo Brown, bobbing his head and being all D'Lo Brown-like. And so yeah, there we go. Oops. I forgot to turn D'Lo heel. I'm a moron. Well, okay, I'll have to do that at the next show. No big deal. Anyway, this gets a 60. D'Lo Brown's beauties, yeah. So, yeah. But, this just, and puts over the fact that, at Crazy Crazy Nights, I'm going to end Raven's redemption, and we're going to make sure the tag team titles stay with the Extreme Horsemen. And then in our opening match, which got a 38, in a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, Low-Ki defeated Puma in 7:04 by pinfall with the Warrior's Way. So this gets a 38, Low-Ki gets a 40, Puma gets a 29. Puma was off his game, match got the crowd buzzing. So, just basically not quite a Low-Ki squash, but basically a Low-Ki showcase. And then he cuts a promo where he puts out an open challenge for Crazy Crazy Nights. Well, he'll take on any wrestler that wants to face him in the ring. And this gets a 34. And then we go have a quick basically video where we see this Samoan's training, and by training we mean throwing random ragdolling random trainees at AFA school out of the ring and kicking their ass, and talk about how at Crazy Crazy Nights the Hart Foundation are doomed. So this gets a 20, which isn't great, but what can you do? Next up we have a match, and about that didn't have much heat, and Terrible Wrestling. Homicide defeated Chad Collier in 7:51 by pinfall with a cop killer. This gets a 31, like I said, just a straightforward quasi-squash for Homicide. And then after the match, he called out Chris Hero, but instead Vampiro came out and they started brawling. And this got a 31. After that, we had our main event of the night, where it was Bryan Danielson and Michael Modest defeating Jerry Lynn and Sonjay Dutt in 14:45. When Modest pinned Sonjay Dutt, this gets a 49. Modest got a 44. Danielson got a 50. Sonjay Dutt got a 48. Jerry Lynn got a 47. So this is a back and forth match. Everybody is a good wrestler, and in the end, I imagine Danielson and Lynn, sort of fighting to the outside. Well, in the ring, Modest is able to hit one of his big moves and gets a pinfall victory over the junior heavyweight champion. And then afterwards, the heel celebrating gets a 39. And then to finish out the show, we have Terry Funk at his ranch, basically saying for so long I've wrestled whoever's in front of me, but at Crazy Crazy Night, Sabu, we fought before, we've gotten blood before, but right now it ends. One way or the other, one of us is not walking out of that arena in a couple weeks, and it sure as hell ain't gonna be me, buddy. So this gets a 57. Really good promo. And the show itself gets us a 48. So there you go. And so, yeah. So I'll be back in a second with the next part of the taping. Be back in just a moment. Okay, now time for the second show of the taping as we continue MLW Underground for the go-home show for MLW Crazy Crazy Nights. And Raven starts the promo basically out on a grungy street somewhere, and he's like, Corino keeps on asking why I deserve this shot, or why I should even be here. Corino, this is all part of my redemption. And when I end your title reign and send you away back to the backwater you came from, it'll truly prove that I am back where I belong. And this gets a 46. Solid promo, not the best, but what can you do? And in our opening match, we had D'Lo Brown defeating Norman Smiley in 10:28 by pinfall with a Sky High. And this got a 47. And let's just turn heel. Let's not turn him heel quite yet. And this gets a 47. And then basically we have a D'Lo and Diamond beatdown with Nigel and Strong making the save. And this gets a 39. And let's go ahead and turn him heel. And his cocky heel gimmick got a rating of very good, and a very marketable gimmick, and gives a small boost to microphone skill. Yeah, and the turn was a complete disaster, but I don't care about that. And then we had a Hart Foundation training, which gets a 15 because none of these guys didn't really talk yet, but what can you do? And then we had a Danielson Lynn hype package that basically goes over their various draws and matches where they fought to a standstill for the past couple months. This gets a 40. And in a terrible match, Chad Collier, and the SAT defeated Matt Martell, Jason Rance, and the Havana Pitbulls in 10-12 when Jose Maximo pinned Ricky Reyes with a Maximo explosion. This gets a 31. Rocky Mirror sustained a concussion. That's great. Murray got a 26. Reyes got a 37. Rance got a 27. Martell got a 25. Claire got a 24. Puma got a 26. Joel got a 36. Joel got a 39. Postponed his good work at ringside. Rance and Maximo were both off their game. And then the Havana Pitbulls and Maximo's brawled. This got a 22. Nigel and Strong did a promo. It got a 39. Basically, they're like, we don't care who we face. You can bring in anybody as your partner. It's fine. It's Steeler Brown. We're still the rising young stars of pro wrestling. And at Crazy Crazy Nights, it's going to be the end to your tag reign. And then in our main event, which gets a 38, and about had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling in a hardcore match, Vampiro drew with Homicide in 9:44 when the match descended into chaos after Chris Hero got involved. So, that is exactly what you expect. So Vampiro and Homicide have your standard issue hardcore match. Hero gets involved, and the match gets totally thrown out. And then there's basically all three continue brawling. That got a 31. And then to finish things out, Corino did a promo to end the show where he said, "Raven, I don't care what you've done in the past. What matters is the now. 2004. It's not 1997 anymore. It's not 1995 anymore. It's the start of a new millennium. That'll be about professional wrestling, not how many tables you can fall through, not how much barbed wire you can get around your skin, not how much you can whine about how tough life you have. I'm the future of wrestling, Raven, and at Crazy Crazy Nights, I'm going to send you back to where you belong, to the gutter." So this gets a 58. And this gets a 44. So, really solid stuff. Again, this is the first time I've booked this stuff in since my last stream. So, So this sort of set things up. We've got Corino versus Raven, Funk versus Sabu, the tag title match, Low-Key versus an open challenge. We've got Dutt defending title against Michael Modest, tag team match assuming Rocky Romero isn't hurt, and more stuff. So let's see how hurt Rocky is. Okay, it's 3 days. Let's see here. Some random morale issues. Let's look at our storylines. Okay, Best in the World is at 46. Hart Foundation versus Samoan is at 35. Miles versus Loki is at 49. Raven Corino is at 52. And Sabu's Funk is at 53. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and push ourselves to, what's what I'm looking for here? Yeah, we'll push ourselves to the next, to the actual big show. We'll show that, and then I think that'll be it for this edition. So, yeah, because we've booked, right, okay. So we've booked through April 1 and April week 2, so yeah, we should be okay for as far as that. So I'll be back in a second with the actual big show, and see ya in a moment. Okay, folks, it's now time for MLW Crazy Crazy Nights from the Orpheum in beautiful Ybor City, Florida, in April of 2004. So let's get rolling. We start the show with Kevin Kelly welcoming us to MLW Crazy Crazy Nights as he goes over the big matches, and announces that because Bryan Danielson has to catch a flight to Japan for his NJPW gig, the Ironman match will be the first match of the night. And this gets a 44. And then we move on to the actual Ironman match, where both had a good heat and decent wrestling. Jerry Lynn defeated Bryan Danielson in an Ironman match in 30 minutes by 2 falls to 1. So what I imagine here is basically it's tied 1-1. They go back and forth, and basically with 15 or 30 seconds left in the final fall, Lynn is able to get some sort of weird roll up crucifix type pinning combination, get the victory, and then Danielson freaks out as the bell rings. So Danielson got a 53, Lynn got a 50. This gets a 52 overall. Then as we move on, Danielson is upset and he just leaves and yells about going back to where somebody actually, recognizes his talent, and that gets a 48. And then we move on to, oh, whoops. Well, okay. Let's pretend the next angle that shows up where Amazing Red Loki comes out and wants his opponent, and the Amazing Red comes out actually happens, because I'm really dumb. Anyway, so Amazing Red was the man who answered the open challenge, and in a decent match, Loki defeated the Amazing Red in 7:39 by pinfall to Key Crusher 99. This gets a 44. Loki gets a 44. Amazing Red gets a 40. Amazing Red's gimmick of the Show Stealer gets an initial rating of great, including it's a marketable gimmick, and basically you just can't lose the gimmicks. Oh wait, no, that's Jason Ayers, never mind. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, this is the actual open challenge, which gets a 29. And then in a terrible match, basically, in a terrible match, the Samoan family of ECMO, Sabu, and Mana defeated Harry Smith, Pete Wilson, and the Hart Foundation in 10:07, and this was an elimination match. Unfortunately, the eliminations are wacky, but basically it comes down to ECMO and Harry Smith, and ECMO gets the win. This gets a 36. Manu got a 29, Samu got a 36, ECMO got a 43, Pete Wilson got an 18, Harry Smith got a 23, Jack Evans got a 37, and Teddy Hart got a 20. And this gets a 36 overall. And then in a decent match, Sonjay Dutt defeated Michael Modest in 11:50 by pinfall with the Sonjay Star Press. Dutt makes defense number 2 of his World Junior Heavyweight title. This gets a 48. Dutt gets a 47. Modest gets a 41. Dutt and Modest didn't click though, but the match got the crowd buzzing. So really solid match. Gives Dutt a big win as he continues to reign as Junior Heavyweight Champion. And then Dutt celebrating gets a 45. Next up, in a bout that is subpar wrestling and little heat, the SAT defeated the Havana Pitbulls in 9:51 when Jose Maximo pinned Rocky Romero with a Spanish Fly. This got a 41. Jose got a 38. Joel got a 38. Ricky Reyes got a 36, and Rocky Romero got a 26. Basically, give the SATs a victory back. This gets a 41. Match got the crowd buzzing. And then Amazing Red comes out and celebrates with his buddies. Or I think they're related. They might be like cousins. I forget. And this gets a 26. And then, in a decent match, Simon Diamond and D'Lo Brown defeated Nigel McGuinness and Roderick Strong in 14:31 when D'Lo Brown pinned Roderick Strong after using a foreign object. So I can imagine D'Lo came out, grabbed the title belts off the ring keeper's table, whacked Roderick Strong with it, and got the pinfall victory. And Simon Diamond and D'Lo Brown win the MLW Global Tag Team Crown titles. D'Lo got a 56, Simon Diamond got a 58, Roderick got a 47, and Nigel got a 39. And overall, this got a 57, so really good match. And the Extreme Horsemen celebrating got a 54. In a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Sabu defeated Terry Funk in a no DQ match in 9:58 by pinfall with an Arabian Skull Crusher. This got a 54 overall, so I mean, just imagine every Terry Funk Sabu match ever. Tables, chairs, Sabu gets the big win. Terry Funk gets a 40, Sabu gets a 57. And then the lights go out, and Sabu is gone, and that gets a 53, as Terry Funk is stuck there in the ring. And then in our main event of the evening, in a bout that had great heat and good wrestling, Steve Corino defeated Raven in 1939 by pinfall with the Old School Explosion after J.J. Dillon interfered, and Steve Corino made defense number 2 of his World Heavyweight title. Raven got a 53, Corino got a 51. Raven and Corino didn't seem to click. Overall got a 57. Raven was, of course, very furious about losing this match, but also Corino's almost doing as good as him in the ring without being as over as him. So there you go. And then to end the show, Corino celebrates, but then the lights go out, and Sabu is in the ring across from him. And there you go. This gets a 63 overall. And the show itself got a 55. So let's go with Steve Corino. Who else did good, or at least better than expected? Bryan Danielson and Sonjay Dutt. Corino pleased, Danielson pleased, and Sonjay Dutt pleased. So let's see here. This is going to take a second while it rolls through, so let's see what it said about MLW. Feedback has been excellent, showing it down really well. Let's see here, time to heal. Raven, grueling schedule. Yakmo, grueling schedule. Gotcha. Let's see here. Raven has big morale issues, things I don't care about. So if we look at our roster, so Simon Diamond, Sabu, Raven, D'Lo, and Danielson are actually our major stars. Wow. Okay, let's just like break this down real quick to end things. So Danielson's at, okay, so if we track his popularity, yeah, he's up to basically mid-40s, including, yeah. So he's up. D'Lo's, of course, already over. Raven lost a little bit of popularity. Sabu, I imagine, yeah, is still building some of his back up. Simon Diamond's about the same. So if we look at stars, ECMO's, is that actually up? Okay, so yeah, it's actually up a little bit. Lynn's, I imagine, has dropped a little. Yeah, he's dropped a little. Loki's, I hope his has risen up. Yeah, so he's up a little bit. Michael Modest has probably dropped a little bit. Sonjay Dutt, I hope, is up a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, so he's up all the way up to a 42. Let me look at his match history. So yeah, he's been basically wrestling everywhere, including on TNA. Steve Corino is slowly getting up there. Let's see here. Yeah, he's slowly getting up there. Including, but he's up to a 45 in the Southeast, which is impressive. Terry Funk, who, yeah, I mean, I've just been using him to draw because he's really getting old quick. So yeah, I mean, hopefully he won't be hurt too much. And let me see here. Is there anybody else we really need to look to see what their overness looks like? Let's see here. Nope, none of these guys really matter. Recognizable. Let's see here. How is... not Homicide. How is Nigel doing? Okay, he's up to a 25 in the Tri-State, and he's up to a 17 in the Southeast. So not bad. And Roderick is also... He's up to a... Right, he's up to a 34 in the Southeast. Size-wise, we are, if we track our progress, we're up to a 38 in the Southeast, and we need to get up to a 59, so we're far away. Events-wise, our next big thing is Revolutions in May. So yeah, basically, see, I might actually redo a lot of this, like, a lot of these events to see what there's actually best to do here. So, because like Blaze of Glory, Wrathchild, like, yeah, I don't know about these. I might move one of these events down here just to give us some time to actually build things up. But anyway, I've actually enjoyed coming back to this, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to continue this, even though we might have to do some weirdness in the background to make sure this doesn't go out of business. But otherwise, that's all for now. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a like. Comment below on what you're enjoying and not enjoying, and subscribe to the channel for a lot of TEW 2020 content. That's all for now, so talk to you later, and adios.